Gardening by the moon is a great way to plan your garden. Many of our viewers follow the age-old practice of planting by the moon's phase for a healthier, more productive garden. Now, gardening by the moon is a growing trend, but the technique itself is anything but new. Gardeners and farmers have been using moon phase gardening for millennia. Best of all, it's a fairly simple process. According to the Garden Media Group, gardening by the moon is more than just a phase. Connecting with the phases of the moon taps into our deep desire to be in tune with nature. Whatever happens in the world of trends, we're all in favor of working with nature's rhythms. Now, you may ask, what is gardening by the moon? And from our research, many people are confused about the idea of gardening by the moon or planting by the moon. There is a difference between traditional gardening by the moon and gardening by astrological best days. So let's just go over gardening by the moon, the basic idea. Now, the basic idea behind gardening by the moon is that the cycles of the moon affect plant growth. Just as the moon's gravitational pull causes tides to rise and fall, it also affects moisture in the soil. Therefore, it is said that seeds will absorb more water during the full moon and the new moon when more moisture is pulled to the soil surface. This causes seeds to swell, resulting in greater germination and better established plants. Moon phase gardening takes into account 2 periods of the lunar cycle: the time between the new moon and the full moon, or the waxing of the moon. That's the moon getting larger. And also the time between the full moon and the new moon, or the waning of the moon, which is as the moon shrinks. It's considered best to plant certain types of plants during the waning of the moon and other types during the waxing. And that's where people start to get confused. Now, the moon also impacts plant growth through geotropism, which is how plants grow in response to gravity. Roots grow downward in the direction of gravitational pull, and stems grow in the opposite direction, upwards. This behavior can easily be demonstrated with potted plants. Lay one on the side and the stems will grow upwards. Or consider a tulip bulb. If you plant the bulb incorrectly with the pointed end down, it'll turn around in the soil and send its shoots upward in total darkness. Now, astrological best days, this is not pure moon gardening. That is what we talked about, using the moon's waning and waxing to bring moisture into your seeds. But if you already have plants established, you want to go by astrological best days, the best days to plant and the associated signs. When the moon is in Taurus, for example, it is considered a good time to plant, transplant, or graft. Common gardening activities are associated with certain signs. We'll leave you links to this. And we'll leave you all the links. Remember, best days timetable here. And if you want to know how to plant by the moon phases, you plant your annual flowers, fruits, and vegetables that bear crops above the ground, like corn, tomatoes, watermelon, zucchini, etc., during the waxing of the moon. That's when it is getting larger. So from new moon to full moon, you want to plant your starts out there. And that allows the starts to get free water as it gets drawn to the surface during the evenings. Not only that, from the day the moon is new to the day it's full, the moonlight increases night by night, and plants are encouraged to grow leaves and stems during this moonlight. You want to plant flowering bulbs, biennial and perennial flowers, and vegetables that bear crops below ground, such as onions, carrots, and potatoes, during the waning of the moon, from the day after it's full to the day before it's new. As the moonlight decreases night by night, plants are encouraged to grow roots and tubers, just like potato tubers. So, I hope you got something out of the video. Plant by the moon calendar and get better results. I'll leave you links to this excellent article from the Farmer's Almanac, which has been planting by the moon, yes, for centuries. So get growing and be safe. We love you. That's a boom.